Well, I think you're going to see further consolidation. Is my expectation. There is a outpatient surgical clinic approximately a quarter mile from my home. I walk by it almost every day because I need to. My wife and I need to go for a walk at the end of the day. We want some air, and that parking lot's empty. I wonder what happens to places like that. So I think systems will probably end up further consolidating. And again, this is something that's been happening for years, basically ever since ACA, right? We've seen a consolidation in the healthcare industry. Okay, if you're a really small company, you can figure out how to survive with niche marketing. If you're a very large system, you can survive. It's the middle-sized fish that are kind of squeezed. And so your choice is either to grow or merge with somebody else, and we're seeing that. And my thought is that places like that clinic down the road are actually going to end up being absorbed, and so I think we'll see further mergers. I think every one of those things that happen in the healthcare industry, those trends that were there before, they accelerate. They're not going to slow down. We're not going to go backwards and start creating additional clinics, right? We're going to actually, because people are going to say, well, I need better care. I need because we need more beds. Well, I mean, that place down the street, it's wonderful for a lot of things, but it won't hold an ICU bed. Just won't happen, right? So people are going to be pushing for that. Other than that, I don't see anything else specifically regarding hospitals and docs. I expect the other place we'll see a lot of changes is we have a lot of assisted living and congregate care facilities, memory units, for example, that are not prepared for dealing with the fact that they're going to have to check everybody in and out. They're going to have to be much, much more careful about who's coming through, because we know, I will tell you just as a side note, I've ended up spending all of my spare time, to the extent that I have spare time in this situation. I don't feel as productive as I could be in my office, so I feel like I'm working harder. But in my spare time, I'm reading everything I can about the Spanish flu. I don't know why. I've become fascinated with Spanish flu. There was a second wave, right? That's the piece that I remind myself of. Spanish flu was March of 1918, was wave one. That wasn't the deadly one. The deadly one was October, November, killed hundreds of people just in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And we don't talk about Minneapolis and St. Paul because it really wasn't the real hotbed of it. Philadelphia was a hotbed. Boston was a hotbed. It wasn't Minneapolis, St. Paul, but it still killed over 1,200 people just in those cities, just in October, November, December of that year. So to get prepared for that, we're going to hear talk about a second wave, and the health and those congregate care facilities are going to be the places where we know there's exposure, right? Heightened exposure. There's going to be a whole lot of change in the workforce that works inside a memory unit, an assisted living facility. And how are we preparing for that? And what skills might we want to give people who could go work there to help protect those vulnerable populations? That's the question that I have. But that's the other major change that I can imagine happening in that field.